All right. So today's topic, we are going to learn about pivot table, how to make use of pivot table. Okay. And with the different options, what we have in pivot table, we are going to see today. Now, for example, let's say we have got a data of employees where we have got their manager, department, and standard and actual hours information. Okay. So there are almost like 300 employees data. Now, what if you want to create the tables according to different requirements? In that case, what we'll do is we'll make use of this pivot table. Okay. So what is the shortcut key or from where we can create this? Alt DPF is the shortcut key. Alt DP. When you press Alt DP, you'll get this wizard where you have to follow with the 3 steps. That is the first step here. It is asking for where is the data you want to analyze. Okay. So in that case, what I have done, first of all, at the first place only, I have selected the data and then I have clicked on Alt DPF so that it would answer the question of this particular option. That is Microsoft Excel list or a database. Okay, right now as we are using Excel file, so yes, by default, it will be on Microsoft Excel list or database, right? Now, what kind of report do you want to create it? A pivot table or pivot chart report? So we want to create a pivot table. So what I'm going to do is click on next. Now I'm into the second step. It is asking for the range of database. Where is the data? What that you want to use. So this is the data what we want to use it. That is from A1 to E301. If you have got from the table name, you can directly provide the table name as well. From the name manager, if you have created the table name. All right. Next, when I click on next, I'll be on to the third step. See, these are the pivot tables. Report contains all the data when to use. So these are all the pivot tables created already. So what I'll do is first I'll copy this and let me paste it to a new file. Let's create a fresh thing. Okay, Alt DP, same, next, next. Whether you want it into the new worksheet or existing worksheet. Let's say here right now we have got 1, 2, 3 sheet. Right now the data is in sheet 1. If I click on finish, I'll get a new sheet here where I would be preparing my pivot table now. Okay. So this is the pivot table list here, field list where we are going to get all these fields. So these fields are nothing but what? These are the same ones where you have seen this one. Okay. So these are the headers on which we have created the pivot table. So now it depends upon the requirement how you want to use it. So here we have got like 4 shelves. That is report filter, column labels, values, and row labels. Okay. So whenever we talk about values, here would be all your measure fields, can be dragged into values. When you talk about like row labels and column labels, you can bring your dimensions to it. See, for example, let's say I want to know my department wise actual hours spent. So I'm dragging departments into rows and the sum of actuals into values. Now, when I bring the manager, so what I'm doing is I'm separating here for the comparison of department 1 within the managers. Or else I can do vice versa. I can bring managers to the rows and I can drag the department into columns, right? So just we need to check with the requirement and we need to use the appropriate option suitable for your scenario, how you are going to create the table. Now, in this case, we have got the list of managers where we are comparing with the departments. But here it is distributed like manager 1 and 2 belongs to department 1. Manager 3 and 4 is belonging to department 2. With the help of pivot, if you see, when we have got this kind of data, yeah, where we have got a lot of rows and columns with records. Pivot is one of the thing which synchronizes and summarizes your view in a, in a more easiest way or a smarter way, where it clubs, where it consolidates, right? And at the end, what we get is by just dragging and dropping, we are getting a summarized view, where we are getting the end result in a form of a sum value. Okay. Now we have got manager 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Now let's name this as manager. All right. Now moving ahead, what we have got next to it. Now when I have got this managers, I can copy this whole table and just paste it at the bottom. And I can change it as per my requirement. Now let's say I want to bring the departments into report shelf. Now I'll get this. This is the report shelf. Now it will help us to easily filter whatever we require. Let's say if I want to just choose department 1. So it will act as a filter at the top. Okay. So try to bring in your parental fields into the filter shelf rather than bringing your granular level of field. So the best part to bring the field report filter is bring the fields which are of parental field. Perfect. All right. Now, if I want to compare my two measures, see what are the standard hours to be obtained was like 400 utilized, or it has to be, work for like 8 hours a day for per employee. So here, let's say here the standard hours is 400. So the sum of actuals is 290. So which means, yeah. So here the end user can easily compare it with what exactly they've spent their actual hours and what exactly it was to be spent. Okay. Whether it is less or more as per the department wise. If he wants to see, he can check it. All right. Now, if I say, if I what happens if I bring my employee to values being a dimension? So you see, it will give the count, not the sum. See the difference here. Whenever in the values you bring a measure, it automatically sums up. Okay. But when a dimension comes into the picture, obviously it will count. Count of employee. By this, by this count of employee, easily you can make it out like, all right, if I want to shift it, I can take here and I can shift this. All right, you see the count of employees is 50. Standard hours is 400. Sum of actuals is 290. Okay. Now, if you want, you can easily check like being a 50 employees, which means 400 hours. So utilization of actual hours is 290. Okay. Now, what if I want to compare or I want to know the percentage of utilized hour? How I'm gonna do it? So for that, what I'm gonna do is I can create a calculated field also here in pivot table, right? That is the calculation field. Okay, let's see. All right. So to get those options, we need to go under the options tab. When you click on pivot, if you see here, after developer, you'll not find any of these tabs. But once you click on pivot table, you'll find option and design, two different tabs. So under options, you need to choose create calculated field. Under field items and sets, you're going to create calculated field. Now, if I have to create a calculated field, let's say or yeah, let's say that turnaround time, or let's say the remaining time or utilization percentage, whatever you would require, you can you can give the name for it. Now, what we want to say is your actual hours, you can directly bring the field divided by standard hours. What would be the answer here? See, your answer will be in this fashion. Okay. Now, if I convert into percentage, how I did it? Control Shift 5. Control Shift 5. If I press Control Shift 5, it will change into the percentage form. So now you see, the end user can easily make up and check, right? And say like, okay, only 73% of utilization of time. Here 83%, here 80, 75, 76, 78. So only manager 2 and manager 3 are properly utilizing their employees in terms of work, right? This is how you can create a calculated field. Under the options, create field items and create calculated field. Okay. So this is one of the example. Now let's see. These are the screenshots which you are going to see, like, in the chapter 21 when you open it. Okay. Now, what I've explained about this formula is in chapter further. Okay. You see, I've got pivot 2, cache, dynamic ranges, grouping, options. So these are all pivot parts. Okay. Right. If I click on pivot 2. So whatever I have shown right now, you'll find it under pivot 2 chart. Okay. While practicing, just go one by one, one by one. Yeah, if you see this, this is the utilization or what we have created now. Here with the screenshot, what I have shown just now. So I've taken the screenshots and you can easily make it out when you are practicing it, or you can go through the video. Okay. This is your database. Now let's see the options what we have inbuilt in a Tableau option. See, now let's say we have got the sum. Right click, if you see, we have got so many options like show values as percent of grand total, percent of column total, row total, percent of parent row total, percent of parent column total. Okay. So these are all options available into now. Okay, let me maximize this. Now if I say percent of grand total. So it starts to compare with the managerial level. The overall 100%. Okay. So who has contributed more, right, into the actual hours? So if you see here on my managerial level, it is 17.95%. Okay. Getting it? Arvind, are you getting this? What is the difference between the 73 and 15.63?
Sir, it is increase in productivity, sir.
Yes. What it is?
Sir, increase in standard of hours, sir.
Yeah, here you see the overall utilization of each manager. The utilization of hours of each manager is getting compared now. Okay, it is getting compared. So the total will be divided. See, I'll show you how it has calculated. I'll show it here manually. Like you see D16 divided by your total. okay, divided by your total. So what it would be like, right? 0.15 into 100, that is control shift 5. Got it? This is how you're getting your answer. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we need to write get pivot table and then we need to start it. Okay. As we are applying outside of your pivot table. But the same thing when we can do it is like within the inbuilt functions of pivot options. How? Right click, go to the pivot table options, right click, show values as. If you see grand total, column total, row total, percentage off. So it depends what exactly and how you want to compare it. If I say percent of grand total, so 1855 will be your grand total. And you want to see the contribution and compare one manager with the another. In that case, what you can do is you can make use of this grand total, which will show you the exact total. Okay? Getting it? Clear? Arvind,
Yes,
is
sir.
it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you see in the chapter 21, I have shown you one example in each page. Okay, so where you'll easily recognize and you can practice it, guys. Okay, so chapter 21 and 22, I have showcased now. This is your chapter 22. So practice this. Create different fields. Okay, try to create different calculated fields within the
Okay, sir.
database so that you can easily come up with your new, or you can say KPIs which are apart from your data source, which becomes much more easier for the end user also. Okay. So there are
Okay,
a
sir.
lot of stuff still in pivot table, which you are going to see, like how to clear the cache, then how to, the dynamic range, how to use dynamic range. As I said just now, if you give the name of this particular table, okay, let's say you have got a database and you want to name this table. So what you do is Alt, what is the shortcut key for go to the name manager? How we go it? Alt MN. Let's say I want to name this as employee database or employee data. EMP data. Okay. So this becomes your table name. The same thing you can create it. Rather, if you want the same to be used here, see. From here only you want to create the pivot table. Just go here, home. Okay. Home under this. What we are gonna say is all DP. So it will see all DPF. This time it is working here because we need to assign the first select the data here, right? So for that it will ask the range. So here I'll directly type EMP table. EMP database. Okay. So it was EMP data. So one, it is case sensitive. Okay. Got it. Now you see when EMP data. Now you see I'm able to drag and drop. So what does it means? As we have created a name manager, we can provide a name manager also and a dynamic name range. And you can create it wherever you want. Only thing is you need to provide the range of your data, right? Directly we have provided the table name here. This is the another way to create your pivot, okay, with the help of name manager. Only instead of range, you're providing the name of the table. That's it. Clear? Makes sense? All right. Is it clear, Arvind?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right. So immediately I'll be sharing this this recording. Just go through it and practice it. So tomorrow we'll cover with the part of using slicers And rest of the pivot table options, when you right click, you have got a lot of options. Okay, we are going to see that tomorrow. All right. So
Okay.
tomorrow is Saturday. Yes, we'll have the session tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
We'll cover up like Saturdays and Sundays also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Perfect. All right. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.